Someone in your life lied to you today. Maybe they didn't even notice. Maybe you didn't either. That's the strange part. Lying feels so natural that you barely register it happening. But it wasn't always this easy. Somewhere, deep in prehistory, a human said something that wasn't true. And it worked. That single moment changed everything. Before that moment, communication was simple. A call meant danger. A gesture meant food. A look meant come here. Every signal matched reality. Then, one day, a signal didn't. And nothing bad happened to the person who sent it. In fact, something good happened. Researchers who study the evolution of deception, including primatologist Frans de Waal, have spent decades watching this pattern show up again and again in primates. Chimpanzees hide food. They fake injuries. They mislead rivals about where a female has gone. Deception isn't a human invention. It's older than humans. But something changed when it reached us. Here's the weird part. Lying requires imagination. To lie well, you have to picture what's inside someone else's head. You have to model a version of reality they believe, separate from the one you know is true. Psychologists call this theory of mind. And it doesn't fully develop in children until around age 4. Before that, kids are almost incapable of successful deception. Ask a 3-year-old to hide a cookie and lie about it, and they'll often point straight at the hiding spot while denying everything. So the first successful lie wasn't just a moment of dishonesty. It was a cognitive leap. It meant a brain had become complex enough to hold 2 realities at once, the true one and the one it wanted someone else to believe. That's not even the strangest part. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar has argued that language itself may have evolved less for sharing survival facts and more for something messier, gossip. Tracking who did what, who could be trusted, who was cheating the group. And once you can talk about people who aren't in the room, you've created the perfect environment for lying to thrive. A rumor doesn't need to be true to spread. It just needs to be believed. Think about the incentive here. Early humans lived in small, tightly bonded groups where reputation meant survival. Get caught stealing meat, and you might get exiled. Exile, back then, was often a death sentence. So imagine you did take extra meat, admitting it could get you killed. But a well-placed lie? That could save your life. This is where evolutionary psychologists believe deception became a tool, not just an accident. The humans who could lie convincingly, at the right moment, gained a real survival edge over the ones who couldn't. But here's the twist. If everyone could lie freely, trust would collapse, and the group would fall apart. Cooperation is what let early humans hunt bigger animals, share food, and raise children collectively. So lying couldn't run wild. Something had to keep it in check. That something was detection. As lying evolved, so did lie detecting. Researchers studying deception, including psychologist Bella DePaulo, have found that humans are constantly, almost unconsciously, scanning each other for inconsistency. A pause that's too long. Eyes that dart, a story that doesn't quite line up. This wasn't a modern invention either. It was an arms race that started tens of thousands of years ago, and it never really ended. You do this every day. You just don't call it lie detection. You call it a gut feeling. Now, here's where everything changes. This ancient arms race didn't disappear when humans built cities, wrote laws, or invented smartphones. It just changed its battlefield. Think about your last group chat. Someone said they were so busy when they just didn't want to reply. You've probably said the same thing yourself. That's not cruelty. That's an ancient social tool, still running, still protecting relationships, the exact same way it protected alliances around a fire 40,000 years ago. Think about a job interview. You emphasize your strengths and quietly downplay your weaknesses. Nobody accuses you of lying. We call it putting your best foot forward. But structurally, it's the same mental trick your ancestors used to avoid being kicked out of the tribe. Even social media runs on this. A curated photo, a caption that leaves out the bad part of the day. Small, socially accepted distortions of the truth, engineered by a brain that has been doing this since before written language existed. Here's the part that might surprise you. Most lies today aren't cruel at all. Studies on everyday deception have found that the overwhelming majority of lies people tell are small and told to protect feelings, avoid conflict, or maintain social harmony. I love the gift. Traffic was terrible. I'm on my way. These are, in a strange sense, the descendants of that very first successful lie, a tool for keeping the group together, not tearing it apart. So the next time you catch yourself smoothing over an awkward truth, or sense that gut-level feeling that something someone said doesn't add up, know that you're not doing anything new. You're running a program that's been active since a human, tens of thousands of years ago, first realized that what's in someone else's head doesn't have to match what's true. And it worked. It still does.